Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Sunday, July 21st, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 9 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So the number 9 energy deals with an ending of a cycle where something either comes to an end completely or it evolves to the next level. And today is also a full moon in Capricorn energy. And this full moon in Capricorn has been one that I've been anticipating for the simple fact that, this is the first time that I've been covering astrology where I remember us having 2 full moons in the same sign back to back. If it's happened, it went over my head. I don't remember. But 2 full moons in Capricorn back to back. So it's like major release when it comes to our ego. And when I say our ego, it's our identification with the physical realm. Meaning, I think about Hollywood movie marketing and how celebrities are put in front of us for us to celebrate them and aspire to be like them. And just from the storytelling and all of that, we're given things to aspire to live up to try to be just like. And when it comes to, say, the double full moons in Capricorn back to back, this is where some of us are waking up to the realization that that's not my responsibility. That's not my responsibility, meaning that I don't have the ability to respond to that lifestyle, to those goals. It's like I was sharing in one of the videos where it's like I came across something where a mom, I think, wanted her son to become, I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was a sailor, whoever, but it was become a part of one of these groups where the people wear really nice uniforms because she was infatuated with someone who wore a uniform. So it's like a lot of us are, stressing ourselves out trying to become things that people put on us that came from a bullshit place. A lot of the times it comes from a place of fear, that people might think is love. It's like, I want you to be able to survive. I want you to be able to take care of yourself. So, you need to go do this or that so that you'll be okay, because this is what they say you need to do to be okay. Or come from a place where it's like, I want to make sure that, I look like I did a good job as a parent. So you go and you be all you could be and you go for this or that or the next. And it's like the person that's stressing themselves out, trying to become that thing that's completely out of an alignment with their truth, feels like they're broken when you're not broken. You need a better view, and a better view is seeing yourself and the fact that you don't have the ability to respond to that, but it's always been in your heart to become a pediatrician, and you have the ability to respond to that because you love working with children and you love helping and healing. And when you're focusing on those topics, like, you're never bored. I wanted to say something with animals, but that's what popped out. So maybe someone needed to hear that. But it's like the thing that you have the ability to respond to, it's like when it comes to that thing, like, you're always energized. You're always diving into it on your own time, even, on your own free leisure time, you're diving into some aspect of that thing. But like when it comes to today, the full moon in Capricorn energy, you know, something has to get left behind. I think of yesterday and how long yesterday's video was, as I kept going on and on about the same thing to a certain extent in a different way, but it just felt like I needed to. And, you know, that came down to seeing it had to do with seeing something that you couldn't unsee. And from seeing this thing that you can't unsee, you know, there's no going back to that. Like an example, imagine a parent and child relationship dynamic, and the child is able to see the parent's mask slip to a certain extent, or maybe a friend's mask slip, a friendship dynamic, parent-child dynamic, family dynamic, and you're able to see someone's mask slip, and you realize all along who you thought you were dealing with is not who you were dealing with, and the relationship have been based on manipulation. You've been manipulated. And it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the way how this would change things is because now you're aware of how the person used to manipulate you before. They can't manipulate you anymore. So it's like if they can't manipulate you the way they used to, because you guys never really had an equal relationship, because manipulation was always used to move you like a puppet. It's like a major shift, you know, with Saturn in retrograde in Pisces, you're able to see through the delusion and the illusions. And from being able to see things, a major shift happens. And from that shift happening, and because of your awareness and your observation of your reality, it's like it creates a shift within your reality. I think of like, say, you know, maybe a person is able to realize how they've been destroying their lives based on the decisions that they've been making. And from realizing that, damn, like I actually make bad decisions. I make impulsive decisions that tend to get me in a effed up place, and this keeps happening and I need to stop this. And from that realization, it's like a shift happens where it's like the person is no longer operating within that lower frequency, because they've come to the realization of what they've been doing. That keeps bringing them to a place where they don't want to be. So it's like with this energy, something shifts and we're able to see things different. Some of us, not all, because some of us, you know, operate like bots, in the sense that, I don't want to say that, but in the sense that, you know, say we've been through things in life that traumatizes us, and we lose our authenticity, and we start to live a fake life. We take on this fake persona and we're convinced that's who we are, to where it's like we see life through fake glasses anyway. So even if truth is being revealed, we can't even see the truth, because, you know, like we've consumed ourselves in this fake identity, this fake image. So it's like, you know, things are being presented, but you can't see it anyway, because, you know, don't know the difference between fake or real. But I don't think that's the case with anybody here, you know, because self-awareness is a superpower. And, you know, we're all here curious about life and ourselves, trying to understand ourselves so we could have peace, trying to understand ourselves so that we could do more of what makes us feel good and make changes when it comes to things that don't make us feel good. But, you know, when it comes to this full moon energy, there will be a shift. And from that shift, certain connections will never be the same again, or certain aspects of our lives will never be the same again. And that's for some of us who are able to see what's being presented in front of us, because before this thing was being presented in rose-colored glasses. An example that I gave on one of the days was, imagine someone having Jupiter or Venus in Pisces, or maybe in the 12th house, or even Pisces on the 7th house, and it's like Saturn energy slowed things down to where you're able to see your partner in a way that you've never saw your partner before. And all of a sudden, like, you feel like, who am I with? Who am I married to? Not that they're a bad person or anything like that, but you realize all along you've been telling yourself a story, and telling yourself a story and seeing them for their potential. And for 3-4 years y'all been together, they've never stepped out of character. Not that they've been trying to deceive you or anything like that, but maybe they're a people pleaser and they've just been trying to please you. And for that, they never stepped out of character. So you never got a chance to fully see them, but now you see them, you can't unsee them. And it's like, what do? I feel like that's how this Saturn energy is shaking ish up. And once we see what we see, you can't go back. And it's interesting because this unicorn energy to me ties into Neptune energy. And with it in the reversal position, it's like in the upright position, when I think of it, I think of imagination, I think of Neptunian things. In the reversal position, it's like all of that is on hold. All of that is on hold. All of that is on hold. And today is ruled by the sun, and the sun is in Cancer, of course. And with the sun in Cancer, this is where we identify with family. That's, we identify with family, we identify with home, our mother, what keeps us nurtured, what keeps us safe, what keeps us secure. But with the Capricorn full moon energy, the moon is in a place where it's like we're nurtured at the thought of taking responsibility. We're nurtured at the thought of leading. Also nurtured at the thought of Saturn related things, and Saturn is in a retrograde. So, with the moon, with the sun in Cancer and Capricorn energy, I think of the thought of leaving the nest energy. There's a fight, there's a push and pull about leaving the nest. And leaving the nest doesn't have to mean your home with your family. It could be leaving the nest about a perspective that you used to have. Like maybe say the person that used to pacify themselves with a certain perspective, where it's like, making bad decisions that's been ruining, a person been making bad decisions that's been destructive to their life. And for the longest, there was always someone else at fault. And with this energy here, it's like you're able to see how, your decisions have been destructive. And it's like, now that that's seen, like it's only up. Yeah, it's like with the energies, like I think of say maybe a person, felt addicted to junk food their whole life, and something happened and they're able to see, I don't know, maybe they come across some video on Instagram and they realize that the Cheetos that they've made, oh my goodness, this is like my brother sharing something with me, where it's like this guy was giving a demonstration and showing how some of the B12 vitamins and even the nutritional yeast is made from a place. Some of the ingredients come from this factory where they clean the poop, do something with the poop, and it's like whatever they do to the poop, to whatever, it's like there's this yellow foam that builds up at the top of the tank. And that, I guess is very nutrition. There's a lot of nutrition in it or whatever. And they somehow use that to create certain things. And it's like, when I saw that, I was just so disgusted. And then I got up and went into the cabinet and looked for everything that had the ingredient. And it's like, I couldn't see what I saw. And it is like, I think of say a person loved Cheetos and other things like that, and you come to find out that the main ingredients in all of your snacks is that foamy poop at the top of the tank that they use to process the poop. It's that foamy stuff is used to process, and that foamy stuff from everybody's poop is used to make your chips. It's like once you see that, you can't have your chips anymore. It's like, to me, that's how these energies feel. And when it comes to say the tarot, we have the Hangman. With the Hangman energy, in the upright position, It brings me to someone in a meditative state, in a relaxed state. In this position, to me, it's like, it brings me back to again, it's like I can't unsee what I saw. Like I can't unsee this experience. Like to me, these energies here feel somewhat like uncomfortable, but I feel like that's good because it's like that uncomfortable energy. It's like discomfort is a signal for growth. And the uncomfortable energy that some of us might feel today, you know, forces us to make changes in our world, forces us to leave certain things behind. And I want to touch on something that came up when I was doing one of the pick a card readings for YouTube, and the pick a card reading is already posted. When I got to one of the groups, like the message was just so strong and so intense, and the message was overall about how someone was in a situation where it's like they found themselves feeling so sorry for other people to where they would subject themselves to things that wouldn't be fair to them, didn't feel sorry for themselves, but would feel sorry for the person. Like the reason why I'm saying this is like with today's energy, say, you know, within the past few days, you come to a realization about something and you realize that you can't stick around anymore. And you might find yourself feeling bad for the people that you're walking away from. And because you feel bad from the people that you're walking away from, you find yourself staying in a toxic environment or a toxic situation because you feel bad for them. And it's like, what about you? What about you? So some of you can be able to relate to sticking around in a friendship or some relationship dynamic way longer than you were supposed to because you felt bad for the people that you're walking away from. You felt bad from walking away from the situation. And it's like, you got to work on that. Like for me, the moment I feel bad about taking myself away from a thing, I have to ask myself, like, you know, that's a sign that like I am deceiving myself to feel bad. Like, I don't think we should ever feel bad for ourselves or for anyone. And when I say never feel bad, that doesn't mean don't have empathy. Because for me, when I feel bad, it feels like I'm projecting onto a thing. You know, I'm projecting onto a person, projecting onto a thing, hence me feeling bad. I feel like there's a difference between seeing a person going through something and having empathy and lending a hand, opposed to seeing a person going through something and then feeling bad and then lending a hand. I feel like you can be empathetic for someone and not feel bad and help them. I hope that's making sense. It makes sense in my mind, but I just think of how we could easily be manipulated by feeling bad. I think about how a lot of times we find ourselves in situations where people try to make us feel bad as a way to control us. Like it's a form of manipulation, you feeling bad. So for me, you know, lately I'll think of like certain situations that don't work for me and I'll observe myself feeling bad. And it's like, why are you feeling bad when this is not good for you? You know, why are you feeling bad when that's not good for you? So to me, there's a difference with having empathy and being able to support and help someone. And there's a difference with feeling bad and operating from a place of feeling bad. If you're operating from a place of feeling bad, to me, it's like someone being under the influence. It's like being under the influence. So when I look at, say, this full moon energy, you know, for some of you, something will click. And like I say, you can't unsee what you've seen. But then feeling bad can keep you stuck in a certain place or frequency, and like shackles around your ankles stop you from your evolution. Like I think of, say, once we see certain things and you can't unsee what you've seen, you realize that like you don't fit in a certain place or space anymore, and you won't go out of your way to try to fit in this place or space. But then you might find yourself feeling bad about how others will feel that you take your presence away, so you stick around and subject yourself to a space that is stopping your growth because you feel bad. Like that's something to consider. Like whenever you find yourself feeling bad for taking your presence away, you know, you really want to sit down and question that, really want to try to understand that. You guys, it's such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a brown heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.